What's up, everyone? Travis Ventrello with a guest today on the YouTube channel, JC, who happens to actually be one of my business partners in a project we do together. And, you know, I've been doing these videos every week now, and like I always say, I want it to be raw and authentic, and so we have no script, we have no notes, and to be honest, really the goal of this video is to inspire you, educate you, and maybe share a few lessons that we have learned along the way as being entrepreneurs. And what's really cool is I was actually able to build multiple successful businesses since 2020 when the world practically got shut down. And JC, you've been in business for how long?
2017.
Since 2017, so what, like 7 years?
7 years, yeah.
Or so?
7,
Cool.
8 years, yeah.
So what would you say, like, to the person watching this right now, maybe it's someone who is just starting their business. They're doing less than 10K a month, anywhere from 1 to 10K a month. What lesson would you want to share with them?
Don't be afraid to spend money.
What do you mean by that? Break that down.
It's kind of like this, and going back into the Bible, seed time and harvest, right? If
Genesis 8:22, for as long as the earth remains, there shall be seed time and harvest.
It's funny because, you know, if you plant the seed, it's going to grow, right? Versus if, you know, you just take that to, in this case, the money, and say, all right, you know, I need this for this, I need it for, you know, my you know, bills or whatever it may be. You got to spend money on ads. If you're not willing to spend money and you're afraid to make money or afraid to spend money, you're not going to get, your business isn't going to grow. You're just going to be stuck on the same hamster wheel going, I wonder where my next $5,000 is going to come from. You get that $5,000, it pays for your bills, and you're not growing. Yeah. It's crazy how people get so trapped in that.
Right. I would even go a step further because there's a lot of people that do spend money. Like, how many people have we seen that spend money on equipment? They upgrade their tools, they upgrade this, they upgrade that, which is great. But I would say, like, going a step further, you have to spend money on the right things at the right time, right? Like, as an example, this is why a lot of businesses fail, right? There's a lot of people who get hundreds of thousands of dollars in capital to start a business. You know, let's just say it's a brick and mortar business. They get an office space, they renovate it, they get the best equipment. Meanwhile, they have no customers.
They've made no money.
They've never even proved the concept. And so what I always tell people is you should spend the majority of your focus in any business you start on getting customers, right? Because you could have the best burger joint on planet Earth, or you could have the best power washing company on planet Earth. But if you don't have customers, you don't have a business.
Yeah.
And so, like, what would you say are like the top 3 areas people should spend money in?
Well, it's funny because whenever I'm talking with people who they're just starting out in their business or they're looking to grow, I always mention them that sales and marketing go hand in hand. And it's like if you have the best sales process ever, but you don't have customers to sell, then what's the point? And vice versa.
Which it's funny you say that because I was just talking about that on my previous video.
And like if you could have the best marketing. I could hand you 1,000 leads, but if you can't close a single one, then what's the value? Now, all in all, to put that together, like you need to be able to invest in ads and invest in someone that'll actually show you how to make a script. Even just that little bit of amount alone will be enough to push you over the needle. I've looked at it when people start talking about making a business. The first time business owner looks to make the best product and have the best, you know, equipment, and the second time business owner, they look at how to market it and they don't care about everything else. And that's what I've seen. That's what I've seen in every business I've been a part of. You go after the marketing, you go after the sales, and are actually willing to put time and money invest into the skill set to have it, then there's no reason you're going to fail.
Right. It's like taking that money and investing it in getting the skill that's going to actually push the needle forward in the business, right? It's like Like if you were to ask me right now, Travis, after all of the successes you've had and failures, because trust me, I've had a lot of failures along the way as well, which is in another one of my YouTube videos I posted previously. But after really studying business, and some of you maybe heard my story on a previous video, some of you haven't. I don't want to go into it. If you want to watch it, it should say something like my story in the title, and you could look at my videos. But technically, I've been studying business since I was about 14, 15 years old, like reading all of the books from Rich Dad, Poor Dad to Think and Grow Rich to, I mean, you name it, Tony Robbins books and, a lot of other business books. And what I've realized is when I started seeing success, the biggest way that I was seeing success in my business ventures was in getting a coach, right? Like, let's go back to one of the businesses I started years ago, okay? And I really wanted to get into something related to online because I wanted to be able to work from anywhere in the world, right? And now we're living in a day and age where there's actually more opportunity than ever before to actually turn your business into a remote business. Like, I have a car detailing business right here in Towson, and it's fully automated, guys. Like, prints money, fully automated. And I could travel anywhere in the world, and I have. There was like 3 or 4 times last year that I traveled alone, and I'm just looking at my phone, I'm looking at the spreadsheets, and I'm like, wow, this is cool. Like, the business is profiting, it's paying for some of my trip, and meanwhile, I'm in Florida right now, or I'm in Vermont, or I'm in Pennsylvania, wherever I was last year.
I was just thinking about my wedding. right before the wedding, it's
like I came
2 or 3 grand.
And I'm like, hey,
look at this.
This is pretty cool. So, and then even other businesses that I have where like this guy just got a 5K close or a 10K close, and it's like, I didn't even do anything. I remember one day we made $38,000, and I did stuff previously that week. But the point is this, right? The biggest lesson I've learned is finding people who are already like dominating, and not just dominating like making $1 million a month, but someone like, if you're just starting out, you shouldn't be necessarily, you could look at people who are making $1 million a month for inspiration, but they're so far ahead that if you sat down with them, a lot of the things they're going to tell you wouldn't even pertain to you for the most part until you actually start getting to that point. So it's like, if you're making less than 10K a month, find someone in your field who's making at least 10K a month and learn from them. Watch their YouTube videos. And the best thing at the end of the day, the quickest way to get trained is by getting a coach in that area, right? That you resonate with, you feel peace about. That is hands down the biggest lesson, and I always tell people this. Hebrews 6:12 says, be followers and imitators of those who by faith have obtained the promises of God. Like, when you started your detailing business, was there someone, I know initially you weren't looking up to people, and you're doing what, like 2K a month or something?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because even though I didn't have like per se a mentor, like I started out of my parents' garage, but then eventually I moved into a guy named Ray, his body shop, and he didn't teach me necessarily like business principles, but he showed me how to deal with people,
right,
and how to actually work on cars and run a business. Like, I didn't learn like the marketing side because he was that old timey. The business was started in 1959.
Right.
If he ran an ad, he was like, yeah, I put an ad in a paper, but he showed me just like how to run a business.
But he was steps further ahead of you.
I mean, the guy's been around forever. I mean, he just, he puts his phone down, it rings. Oh yeah, I just made 10K. I'm like, from where? But he was in business, and at the time when I was working with him, he was 62. He had been in business since he was 17.
Wow.
And he had nothing, he didn't have to do anything. It was just like, all right, this is what we do. But ultimately, he showed me how to, talk to people, how to actually like understand how, when you're in business and doing a service for someone, how to actually treat them, how to respect them. And that translated over into me saying, well, if he taught me this, what can this person teach me? And what can I learn from this person? And then I just kind of just grew from there.
So would you say, like, the moment you decided to get help and seek out counsel, would you say things began to change in your business?
100%. Yeah. That's all it is.
You know, going back to what I was saying earlier, I remember I really, at like 16 years old, I really wanted to get into e-com. It was just, everything was leading me in the direction, like the laptop lifestyle, I called it. And so there's this guy on Facebook that I came across, and he was the only person I knew who was doing like e-com drop shipping at the time. And he was an affiliate of this program called DS Domination. They ended up going bankrupt, but long story, they don't even exist anymore. They got greedy, the owners got greedy, but that's a whole nother conversation. The point is this though, he was an affiliate to this course that it was $20 a month, and it showed people how to sell stuff on eBay. And so I was already looking for something like that. And I remember I signed up, and within 3 days, I made my first sale. And I was doing everything this guy was telling me to do inside of the course as well. And it was a course, like the company was, all it was just a course. There actually wasn't even any coaching calls.
It was just a course.
It was just a course. And then my what would you call it? Not my downline, my sponsor.
Yeah.
I forget what they call it in affiliate marketing and network marketing. But let's just say he was my sponsor or my upline, whatever, right? So he would get 50% of anyone he signed up every single month. And so anyway, I would hop on calls with him, and I'd be like, hey, can you show me what to do next? You know, and next thing you know, within like 6 months, I was making anywhere from $2 to $4K a month, which was decent money. Like, guys, okay, I was doing it from my laptop anywhere in the world, right? I wasn't having to do any physical labor, and I only spent an hour a day, which, looking back, I should have spent like 4 hours a day. I would have been making way more. But anyway, that led me on this journey. And then at 17 years old, I went to Las Vegas for the first time. And, you know, my mom was like, where'd you go? I'm like, Mom, I'm in Vegas. She's like freaking out, like, dude, what are you doing in Vegas? And so I should have told my mom, being a minor. But anyway, like, bro, I was just trying to make some bread, you know, make that bread, Fred. So I go to this trip, and they pitch this program for like, I want to say it was $3,000, but they were giving half off. I can't remember. It was like, I know I paid $1,500 for it. Anyway, they were pitching this program, and it was, instead of like just drop shipping, like, we're going to show you how to make money with Amazon. And this was 2014, I want to say. And so it's 2014. I'm like, man, this is insane. Like, they're showing the numbers. You go to Alibaba, you know, you could do wholesale, you could do private label, white label, all the different terms. And so speeding this up, because I believe like this is part of the journey, right? And I'm gonna tie this lesson in. So I end up moving forward. I buy the program, and there was this guy I met at the event who was already making like over $20,000 a month with this strategy. And so we connect, and I said, bro, if I buy this program, you know, let's mastermind. And it's a principle I learned from Think and Grow Rich. It's the mastermind alliance, right? Like, you know, even the Bible says 2 is better than 1, for if one falls, the other could help them up. And so the thing is, this program I bought, it was only a course. It wasn't coaching. I didn't get access to the owner, but this guy at the event, we started a group text together, and I was like he was helping me for free. That, you know, that just happened to be what it was when I ran into this guy, a very generous guy with his knowledge. And so I remember the first thing I did is I went to the Dollar Tree. Like, this is what I learned in the course. You could scan items, and the app would tell you like, oh, you're gonna make $10 profit off this item. I go to the dollar store, I'll never forget. There were these Compass protractors that were selling for $10 on Amazon, and they were only $1 at the dollar store. So I bought 100 of them. There was only 100 of them in stock at the Dollar Tree because it was like back to school. I buy them all, I send them into Amazon, and literally within 3 days, they all sold out. And I remember I made $600 profit because Amazon takes some fees and stuff like that. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go and try another item. And this next item was a dog item. It was like a dog brush. And so I found a supplier that sold these for like less than $1 a pop. And they were selling all day long, anywhere from $8 to $10 on Amazon. So I buy them, I send them in, and next thing you know, within 30 days, this product line was doing over like $3,000 a month profit. And I'm only 17 years old. By 18, I had 3 product lines on Amazon, and each product line had anywhere from 2 to 4 products doing decently well. And it was doing over $38,000 a month. Then I got saved, shut it all down, went to Bible college. That's a whole nother story. But what got me there was learning from somebody who already proved the process. Now imagine for a moment, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna get a coach, I'm not gonna get a mentor, I'm just gonna buy random products. Well, if I bought random products and sent them into Amazon, they wouldn't have done good, because when I was in the course, I learned what to do and what not to do. And to be honest with you, a lot of the things they said not to do, I actually know for a fact I was gonna end up going that route had I not taken that course. And so the biggest lesson I've learned is, at the end of the day, if you have a plumbing business, if you have an e-com business, if you have a power washing business, car detailing business, junk removal business, guys, success leaves clues. We live in a day and age where you could literally get a coach who has been ahead of you. And I preach this so hard because people ask me all the time, I don't have any money, what should I do? Well, when I started business back up again, I didn't have any money. I actually borrowed money to join a program, and I knew back in the day, like, all I need is a program, a coach, and I will put in the work and I'm gonna get the results. And guys, that is exactly what happened. But maybe talk about that. Like, what's your opinion and perspective being in business all these years? Like, if you were to go back in time, what would you have done differently?
It's crazy because looking back at it, like, even when I didn't understand, like, getting a coach, like, I was one of those people, like, college is a scam, anyone who's teaching you, you live off if those who can't do teach. That was like my initial thought on all of it. And now I look at it, looking back at it, like,
right, because it's like you have business professors teaching you a business skill, and they've never owned a business in their entire life, bro. Like, what the heck?
And then you have people who, you be able to learn from them that they're doing 10, 20, 30, 40, you could take it to the sky's the limit of what they're doing, but they built the company from the ground up.
Right.
Like, it's kind of like this. If I said, hey, let's go to Seattle, if you don't even know where Seattle is, you don't know what it looks like to get there, it's gonna take you forever to get there, versus, hey, I have it on Google Maps, let's go. Like, someone already predetermined the route for you. Like, you just have to literally just get on the road and start driving.
Right, and back in the day, you didn't have Google Maps.
Yes.
So how many times, I know for me, even with a paper map, my parents many times would stop at the gas station.
All right, we're here,
like,
we gotta go over
we're
here.
We're here, like, you're from this area, what highway, like, what route do we go,
Do you know where this road is from here?
So now, if you think about it, like, and a lot of people don't because of technology these days, but I mean, you have a GPS. You used to have to use a paper map. You had to stop at the gas station, like, hey, do you know where XYZ is?
Yeah. And that's the thing is, like, you're going through this and you're learning how to get from point A to point B from someone who has done point A to point B 9,000 times. It's like getting in a plane with someone who's flown from one airport to another 100 times versus someone who's never even flown a plane.
Right.
Like, they know where they're going. They could probably do it blindfolded.
And you look at most successful people in life, right? Like the NBA, sports, business, like what they all have in common is they had someone that guided them.
Yeah.
Right? They had a mentor, they had a coach. And in my opinion, the difference between a mentor and a coach is a mentor is someone who inspires you, you look up to. They could kind of keep you on track, but a coach is in the trenches with you. They're saying, hey, your goal is this, you're here, take a right, take a left, go straight, back up, move to the right type of thing where it's like they're giving you step-by-step instructions and directions, right? And so I would say like that is hands down the biggest lesson, right? But if you're someone who's doing over 10K a month, maybe you're doing 20K, 30K, 100K, like the biggest point I grew a business to with one of my business partners was our record month was $180,000. We cleared over 7 figures with that business in a year. And at the end of the day, like the biggest way we were able to do that is because we paid for coaching. We paid to learn how to get really good at marketing, sales, systems. And so really, if you're doing less than 10K a month, one of the biggest bottlenecks you're gonna have is gonna be marketing. Now, if you're doing over 10K a month, one of the other bottlenecks that you start to experience is gonna be like a team, automation, systems, so on and so forth. And so, yeah, I would say like if you're watching this right now and you wanna get your business to the next level, you gotta figure out where are you stuck right now? Like, what is the bottleneck? Is the bottleneck marketing? Is it getting leads? Is it getting attention? Okay. Well, if you're getting leads and attention, are they converting? If they're not converting at a high close rate, then the skill set you need to develop is sales. Now, where me and JC help a lot of people is we help them develop the skills it takes to get your business to the next level. And we primarily focus on marketing and sales. Especially for people who are doing under, 20 to 30K a month, like that is one of the biggest bottlenecks. And then it becomes hiring people, implementing and integrating AI into your business and things of that nature. But anything else you want to say, like to the business owners watching? So
Travis will know who exactly I'm talking about when I say this, but one of the business mentors that we both kind of had in our time is that he said this all the time: you have to inspect what you expect, right? And if you don't know your numbers, if you don't know what you're doing, you don't even know where your bottlenecks are. So if you're sitting here and you're going, man, I wonder if it's this, I wonder if it's that, well, you need to go start checking your numbers.
Right.
You need to go inspect.
You need a scorecard.
Yeah.
Right? How are you tracking your numbers? You go to a football game, you go to a baseball game, a basketball game, they have a scoreboard that if you showed up halfway through the game, by looking at that board, you're gonna know exactly how much time is left, what team is winning, how much are they winning by, and so on and so forth.
It's even crazier. Like I was a big basketball player when I was in high school. I wanted to go to college, but they used to be able to hand us. We had a stat book. It was a big book, like probably the size of my computer, and it had all of our numbers. It would show turnovers, points, shots taken. And you could literally, and it was broken down by quarter.
Right.
So you could literally go through and just read the book and see how the tempo of the game went. If you can't do that with your business, then there's already something wrong. You should be able to hand something to someone and they can go, oh yeah, I can see where your business, how it did on month 1 and month 2. So you could track it, because who's to say month 3 was better than month 4? One of the biggest questions I ask people is, hey, where do you get all your customers from? And every business owner that doesn't track it, they say one of two things. Oh, well, they come from Google. Or they say, oh, referrals. Well, who's referring you? Where's it coming from? If you don't know where it's coming from, you can't grow it. Like, it's like me throwing water on a tree that's dead.
Right.
I want to water a growing tree, not a dead tree.
Right. No, absolutely. Well, bringing this video to a close is like, you could read books all day long. You could watch YouTube videos all day long. And, if that's you, and which I find a lot of entrepreneurs, especially starting out, they're stubborn. They want to try to prove the world that they could figure it out on their own. Or it's like you could just humble yourself, get a coach, get someone who's already proven it. And if you've been watching this video and maybe some of my other content and everything we've been talking about resonates with you, you feel like, man, maybe I need to talk to an expert. Maybe I need someone to take a look at my business. We do something that we call a free strategy call. And this call is completely free. It's about 30 to 45 minutes long. And really on the call, what my team does is we get a better idea on where you're at in your business, where you want to get it to, and try to help you identify the bottlenecks that are holding you back. And if by the end of the call we're confident we could help you get the results you're looking for by implementing what we call our scale marketing system, we'd love to walk you through what that is and how it works. And if not, at least point you in the right direction. You leave the call with some free value. And so if you want to book a call with us, go ahead, click the link below this video and fill out your information, and then we'll definitely chat with you. And other than that, please subscribe to this YouTube channel if you have not yet already. I want to keep rolling out videos like this, and I don't want to roll them out in a crazy way where it's like I'm trying to hook everybody and all that stuff. Like, I want it to be authentic, cool conversations. Maybe sometimes I will do other style videos and content, but let me know in the comments if these videos are helping you, if they're giving you value, and I would love to hear from you. So with that being said, thanks for watching this video, and I will talk to you soon.